Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hey. Let's go. You're tuned in the lady blue for I am about to do something new, something cool. You will always hold it what you plan. Cause up this morning feeling like I want to dance. New day, new blessings. Live, learn lessons. Answers, questions. No weapons formed against Michelle Prosper. Been through the fire, I'm a survivor. Say they even tried us, he didn't prosper. So much going on in the world, it won't stop us. Oh, we got faith. All my prayer warriors pray. Hey, this is what I gotta say. Lady Blue Radio Show is how you start your day. Hey, this is what I gotta say. Lady Blue Radio Show is how you start your day. Good morning. I once told myself that I get myself in. And then I heard a voice say that you can be free because you've been forgiven. And then that voice said, we've been made to go for a night, but hey, the joy comes in the morning. Good morning. All right. Good morning, and good morning. It is me, it's your girl, it's your favorite blogger, Lady Blue, and I am coming at you LIVE live on the home of the Cheryl Underwood Morning Show, WMSKOnlineRadio.com, where talk radio just got better. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and all across social media. Follow WMSK Online Radio on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at WMSK Online Radio. Make sure you use the hashtag WMSK Grind. When you're following Lady Blue, use LADYBLUU and the number 1 hashtag Lady Blue 1. Yes, good morning, Facebook world. How you doing? YouTube world, how you doing? Everybody out there listening, how you doing? I hope you downloaded the free app and you're taking us on the go with you. Today, chat day. We're going to chat. We might have some folks drop by the studio. Who knows? But we're going to chat today. But we're going to start our day off the right way, as we always do. Right. We're going to celebrate some birthdays. Right. Let's see who has a birthday today. I don't see any birthdays up here today, but you know what? No matter if you are celebrating a birthday, an anniversary, a birth, whatever it is, happy birthday, happy anniversary, congratulations, whatever it is that deems a happy and joyous occasion, do so. And it is the 4th of July. No, I have no sparklers in here and I have no fireworks in here. You all just have moi, okay? And I hope you can deal with just moi, because that's all you got. Anyway, get out there and enjoy your 4th. I know the barbecues are getting cleaned and they are getting set up and revved up. People are out there. I know when I go back down the street there, I know this store is going to be crowded. Do you understand what I'm saying? The potato salad will be gone. The shrimp salad will be gone. The macaroni salad will be gone. Hot dogs, hamburgers, steaks, whatever it is, brats, whatever it is you got going, save me a plate. Just save me a plate, okay? Other than that, let's get into some biz, shall we? Just a little bit of biz. And like I said, I hope you all are enjoying your day. I hope you all are enjoying your 4th. If you are here in Maryland, guess what? You got an extra day. That's right. The governor decided to give us an extra day. So some of us going to be out here just enjoying the heck out of ourselves Thursday and Friday. We just gonna do it all to it on both days, okay? That's just how we do it here, okay? That's how we do it here. And we want to make sure you do it the same way. Anyway, let's go and find some positive stories, shall we? Yes, let's go find some positive stories. If you have not gone over to the Lady Blue Positive page, join me over there and see what I got going on. I know I have posted several positive stories that are up there. And, you know, we got to speak positive, especially with all the negativity that is going on in our world and in our nation and right up under our noses today. But my first story has to do with 2 very good friends, okay, more or less family. They're family. And Simon, and his name is Simon, and he masterminded a unique fight that would help his cousin, Lysandro, be able
to come along with him on all of his adventures. Lissandro has spina bifida. Spina bifida is where, he's unable to walk. He has to use a wheelchair. But he wanted to be able to go out and, play and enjoy the air and be able to do these things. Well, his cousin said, I want us to ride a bike together. So he had to go out and figure out how to do this. And they because this was important to him to spend time with his cousin. Okay. So he found a local handyman who took, did a little bit of research, came to say, I want to do this, did a little bit of research, kind of tweaked a design that was already up, but mastered it so that it would accommodate a wheelchair. And what they did is allowed this, it's like a sidecar for a bike. And it allows Lissandro to get up on this contraption, get locked in, and it also has hand pedals. So he's able to help his cousin. If y'all are on Facebook, you see me doing this. It helps his cousin pedal. So he's involved in the action of pedaling by using his arms. And now he's able to go out and enjoy the sights, the sounds, go to the park, splash in the water, drive through mud, go downtown and get a gelato, whatever it is. He's able to go and do these things all on the genius mind of his cousin and the local blacksmith who helped put it together. So congratulations to Simon. I say Simon, but it's probably Simone, but Simon for that. Here in Baltimore, the Generosity Shower is changing lives of the Baltimore homeless. If you don't know what the Generosity Shower is, it's a mobile shower. It has, I believe, 6 showers, and it has several other things that allow the city's homeless to take a shower, to clean up. I believe they're trying to get not just a mobile shower, but they're also trying to get the mobile wash thing going too, where the homeless can wash their clothes, so they're not always out with the same clothes all the time. So they're trying to pick up in the homeless area, and congratulations to them for that. This is a new operation in downtown Baltimore. If you want to donate, you want to text to give. If you have questions, 410, I believe that's 696-4922, but don't quote me. Go to the website, go to the link on the Lady Blue Positive page and check out Generosity Global. Okay, the founder has been here. Some of his constituents have been here, so it's been just an unbelievable thing that has helped the homeless. And what they give out towels. Each stall has towels, soap, shampoo, conditioner, and a hair dryer. Okay, so this is a way for the homeless, if they don't have a way to clean up for an interview, all of these things, they're able to go down, do this, and be able to get cleaned up for those things that they didn't think that they'd be able to get cleaned up for. Now, from what I'm seeing, the Colombian-based nonprofit supports clean water projects globally and has operated in Baltimore for 8 years. They've been here 8 years. I have no idea. Hosting Selfless Saturday programs the second Saturday of each month from 9 a.m. to 2 at 300 Holiday Street. So now y'all know where they're at, okay? They deliver close to 60 showers on that day, okay? With smiles being their reward. That's basically what it is, okay? They get a shower, they get a hygiene kit, they get razors, deodorant, undergarments, and water bottles. So see, they don't just come in there, take a shower, and leave. They get supplied. They don't have to walk around with the same thing all the time. So thank you for that to the Generosity Shower. Truly, truly appreciate that. The next positive story is, I told y'all about this one. This was the Ndlovu Youth Choir from South Africa. You have to go watch that. That's just something you have to go watch. You cannot, there's no way I can explain that to you on the radio. You have to go watch that. Good morning to Miss Karen. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate you, love. There's many more positive stories to be noted on the Lady Blue Positive page, and all around the globe. Really, if you think about it, there's a lot of positive things going on. I want to shout out my friend and constituent Abhijit from Calcutta, India, and Upwards Magazine. I was featured in Upwards Magazine last year before the end of the year, and it's still doing great things. They have an award ceremony coming up in September, and I am receiving recognition over in Calcutta. Go figure that one out. I ain't even ever been to Calcutta, and I got recognition coming from Calcutta. Anyway, there's several other things that are going on, but shout out to Abhijit for his work and his staff's work for Upwards magazine. It's a beautiful magazine. It just showcases positivity not only in India, from around the world. I know Dr. Eric Holmes has been in this magazine. I know Sober Touch has been in this magazine, and there's a couple of others that have been in this magazine that have done great things here and nationally and internationally. So make sure you check out Upwards magazine online. The other person I want to shout out is Teresa Holly Howard and Women on a Mission. She's got her thing going on with, sharing those stories. Y'all know I'm a domestic violence advocate, and Teresa is one of those people that I network with. And, she has allowed me to reach out to those that are in her area in Texas. So see, it's networking. Networking is a good thing. You got to get that networking in. I don't want to burden anybody with any negativity. We have to talk about hot topics today, and we are going to talk about hot topics today. But what I really want to talk about is the positive things that are going on in our nation. The positive things that are going on in our nation, and there are many. We do want to give our heartfelt condolences, prayers to the family of, let me get his name because he was laid to rest yesterday, okay? He was part of the 911 responders thing that happened last month on Capitol Hill. I'm all over the place. Luis Alvarez, a hero to fellow 911 responders, was laid to rest yesterday. He was I'm going to say young man because he was not that old, ladies and gentlemen, who was a first responder in 9/11. He jumped in there when the help was needed, and he had a battle with cancer. And in the lab, after 69 chemo treatments, it was discovered that his liver had shut down, and that his body was beginning to shut down because of the effects of what happened with 9/11. And he was laid to rest yesterday, and he got a hero's funeral yesterday in New York. You have to see the video. You have to see the pomp and circumstance. He was a voice because in his frail state, he made the trip to Capitol Hill to sit in front of the Senate committee and state his cause, the purpose for why the funding was needed for emergency responders. Okay, he pleaded to Congress. He pleaded to Mitch McConnell. He pleaded to those who have control over the budget, is that you cannot turn a blind eye to this. These people did what we and you could not do, okay? He told family members in his final days he was imagining himself walking. And they asked him where. And he says, I'm on a pile. That was kind of some of his last words. And shorthand for Ground Zero after the terror attacks of September 11, 2001. The pile was where thousands of victims were buried in rubble. His time there would come to define Mr. Alvarez's police career and transform him physically, likely causing the cancer that whittled his stocky frame to the bone. He became the face, a grimly urgent one, of others like him in an emotional address to members of Congress last month. So please read up on his story. See, he was 53 years old. He was my age. He passed away on Saturday from colorectal cancer. Weeks after he sat next to Jon Stewart and pleaded with lawmakers to replenish the victim compensation fund. Just the fact that, the people up on Capitol Hill, you have those that are doing their job and others that are just have their hand out for money. And, we need to pay attention, ladies and gentlemen. We need to pay attention because there are things coming down the line, including what's going on today, that is going to take from your pocket, and we do not need that. And if you're whining and crying about, I need this, and then trying to blame somebody that's not here, don't blame anybody else. We're living right now. We're living in the right now. And what is happening right now is what is affecting you, me, and everybody around us. We have got to do something for our children's future. If you're busy pointing fingers and you're not up and doing something about it, shame on you. That's all I've got to say about that. So hearts and prayers out for the family of Luis Alvarez as he was laid to rest yesterday. this thing going on in the Dominican Republic, just kind of wow, with the constant people who are constantly either falling ill, gravely ill, or passing away. We've got to do something about that one. And then also we've got some cases. There was one in Ocean City, and there was a lady who just passed away down in Florida from flesh-eating bacteria. I know it sounds kind of gross, but it's real, and you've got to pay attention where you're going and what you're doing and what you're stepping in. Please pay attention to that. Okay. One story that kind of bothered me, and I want to touch on it real quick, is the New Jersey judge who said a teenager accused of rape deserves leniency because he's from a good home and a good family, and he's going to a good school. But this is a young man who chose to rape another individual. Okay, bragged about it, basically was out there like this was his trophy. And now this judge is saying that he deserves leniency because he's from a good home. Woo, y'all know I got something to say about that, especially in the realm of sexual predators, sexual violence, rape, domestic violence. This right here, this 16-year-old is never going to learn the right from wrong. He's never going to learn that this is not something that you should never, ever do, because you have a grown man that is condoning rape. He's condoning rape. And oh yeah, he's under fire for it. He's under fire for it. Okay, there's a story y'all need to read. And also the black couple who fired a contractor on the spot because he drove up in his truck with a Confederate flag on the back. And they said, sorry, we're not paying you. You got to go. We'll find somebody else. He drove off. He didn't cause no argument, but he rolled up in their driveway with a Confederate flag flying in the back. A few things we need to talk about. Anyway, keep it locked. We're going to come back. We're going to continue this conversation. So just stay with me. YouTube, Facebook, out there in Radio Land. This is Lady Blue, live on the home of the Cheryl Underwood Morning Show, WMSKOnlineradio.com, where talk radio just got better. Keep it locked. I got a live session over here. You're going to have to turn it down a little bit.
Yo, it's Jonathan Phillips. You are listening to the Lady Blue.
No consideration for anybody else in this building. None.
Ever wonder how the credit card companies make their money? Well, think about this. If you owe $25,000 on 5 different credit cards and can make your minimum payments every month.
Hey, Michelle.
Are you sitting down? You'll shell out over $13,000 in additional interest, and it's going to take over 13 years to pay off your original $25,000 balance. That's how they make money. Now it's your turn to fight back by calling the Debt Solutions Network. We'll work on your behalf to reduce your debt. We specialize in credit cards, retail store cards, and medical bills. We promise we can and we will reduce your debt. Call right now for a free 15-minute debt analysis. 800-593-0297. 800-593-0297. 800-593-0297. 800-593-0297.
Hey, Vanessa. Good morning, ladies. How is everybody? I'll throw a little bit of something else up in here. We need some weekend music. What, you know what? There we go. We're gonna throw a little bit of summer music in there because it's about that time, right?
Picasso Cuts Barbershop, located 7171 Security Boulevard, Baltimore, Maryland 21244. Men, women, and kids, we do it all with a professional master barber to serve you. Open 7 days a week for your convenience. Please contact 410-944-CUTS. That's 410-944-5889. Please tell them WMSKOnlineradio.com sent you. Since she was down the side, you're always on my mind. And I don't think that I could ever be without your love. Come on, you know we go together like a hand in glove. Now the best thing that is you, and it's me, and that's how it's supposed to be, oh baby. So, Thank versus us magazine. Make sure you get your copy at a location near you. All new things in New York, New Jersey, Atlanta, and LA. Bookstores and bookstores in our first country is Canada. Into the mind of the hard and calmest voice and home of the system. This magazine will give you high profile cases, corruption information on what's happening in the G-Board, police department, and the government. Also, success stories of former inmates such as myself. You know what it is? Celebrities, sports, entertainment, real estate, and financial literacy. Make sure you visit us on our website at StateBSUSBank.com. Our social media at StateBSUS and on Facebook at StateBSUS Magazine. We are the voice of the voiceless. For State versus Us Magazine. It's open.
Oh, I felt like I got a contact. They still doing that?
I just stepped over there and talked to them.
That's terrible. Like I just walked and you can smell it as soon as you walk in the door.
I already let them know.
I'm telling you, people, they don't realize.
Good morning,
Good morning, lady. Now this is not a diet, but it's one of them. I've been in 3 different places trying to find snacks. I cannot believe, and the guy was like, "Oh, these not now. You got a diet cranberry for a diet Pepsi." Okay, these are okay. We're gonna push this. What side you want me to sit on? What side?
Pick whichever one, and you can also put one of these ones too.
Okay. We got yeah, because I'm at the library, so I'm taking to the library. Because I'm going to be doing a book signing there.
I just
Yeah, because you don't know who might come in here. I've done this thing. What if I was in law enforcement? Drug enforcement? It's her coordinating her whole brain and everything you do.
I ain't gonna worry about it. Let's put it that way. As long as my door is closed, I'm good.
I have another person Then I gotta give her information that, oh my gosh, she shared her information. Oh my God. The lesson I looked at her at the beginning of it and said, oh, I'm telling you, you never know what people have gone through and been through. And she's one of those. When she shared her testimony, one of the elders, I'm at that I've known for years. And she said how she would go home after she had a radio show too, online in Boston. She's in our fellowship, been for years, got ordained elder, and she's one of the girls. But when I tell you, because her name is Heidi Ivy, and so see if she can come in October. I'll message her, but when she
I booked Miss Williamson. She speaks.
Okay.
She said she'll be here. She'll be in DC in September, so she's gonna call in because she was like, "Can I call in or do I have to be there?" I said, "No, you can call in. You don't have to trace all the way from DC up here."
Okay, yes, my girl, she is so amazing. I tell you, she's really. That's why I'm that whole article. It was her connection. Like Miss Cheryl is amazing. She's going to when we release Soul Talk 2. I mean, Soul Talk, that's her other brand. Soul Prayer 2. Will, you know, she's one of the executive producers for Illegal Rose and Jasmine Cobb.
Okay.
She has, when I say connect, I met the COO of Dallas, the girl is fierce. Like she said, I like you. She took a picture. So Miss Cheryl needed a place for the transitional house for women. She got her apartment built. I said, you better go. I love her. Like, American women doing great things for being connected to the right people in the right season.
Right. I hope I gave you enough because I figured out 200 and I gotta,
Oh, that's fine. And not like I said, you know, I can make them too.
Okay, because if not, I'll email you the actual flyer itself, and then that way you can print. I just printed these at work, and then basically I'm gonna hand some of these out at the event on Saturday.
Okay.
I post them up where I can.
I gotta get him to make me some more cards.
But I need a new bag. Basketball courts in the summer got girls there. The temperature's about 88. Hop in the water plug, just old time shake. Break to your crib, change your clothes once more. Cause you're invited to a barbecue to start the floor. Stay with your friends, strong from a kiss. Another day's growing up in the first person you kiss. And as I think back, makes me wonder how the smell from a grill can spark up nostalgia. All the kids playing out front, little boys messing around with the girls playing double dutch. While the DJ spinning the tune and the whole folks dance.
it. Look at her. Aww.
You just finished wiping the car down. It's time to cruise, so you go to the summertime, hang out, look like a car show. Everybody come looking real fine. Fresh from the barbershop, climbing the trees of mine. There's always one in
New working
the
instead.
Doing my thing.
but you can't speak 2 miles an hour, so everybody sees you. There's an air of long and fabulous, the kids is the best, the definition of summer.
Yeah, I just submitted this to the library. So, what the Boa CEO, Boa Bay been rolling out?
She's doing everything. She's everywhere.
I left it right now.
She's out there pushing the magazine and the station and the things that are going on. And
You don't have another one of those things these days,
stands.
one of those just home. I probably know what I can do about it. I probably just like that.
I got a few wide reads here and then we can get
This book is so awesome. Gotta put it in my order.
The views and opinions that are expressed on WMSK.com are those of the guests, hosts, and callers, and not necessarily those of the station, its management, hosts, or advertisers. The show was founded on WMSK.com. Hi, Cookie! Belief, religion, political affiliation, or personal practice. These shows are for entertainment only. Thanks for listening.
What's up? This is Kate Anderson, CEO and founder of Coliseum Media, and you are now tuned in to the Lady Blue Radio Show live on WMSK.
I was over with Jay and Antoine the other day.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is me. We are back. We are LIVE live on the home of the Cheryl Underwood Morning Show, WMSKOnlineRadio.com, where talk radio just got better. Make sure you visit www.WMSKOnlineRadio.com. Join our mailing list for updates, events, shows, and more. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at WMSK Online Radio. Make sure you use the hashtag WMSKRhyme. Also, make sure you get Urban Reality News right in your hand. That's right, State versus Us magazine, your official source to the streets from prison, highlighting high-profile cases, corruption in the police department, government, the prison system, wrongful convictions, and success stories of the formerly incarcerated. If you or someone you know has a story to tell, want a feature or ad space, please email stateversususmag@gmail.com. That's statevsusmag@gmail.com, and get your print or digital copy today at State versus Us Mag. There are 3 issues out. Issue number 4 is in the printer as we speak. So you can get your pre-order in. You have the premiere issue with this connoisseur, the CEO of WMSK Online Radio, on the cover. You also have issue number 2, which has my son, the New York General. Issue number 3, which is a dual cover that has Lunel, the comedian who was here a couple weeks ago, and Wallow 267 on the other side. And issue number 4 has Jamila T. Davis on one side, and the one, the only, the original, Freeway Ricky Ross on the other. So make sure you get your copy today. Now, a couple of the other things that are going on this weekend, get your calendars out, because I just gave y'all something to do, but get your calendars out, because this Saturday, starting at 2 p.m. at 207 East North Avenue here in Baltimore, is Pamper My Sister. Royal Manifestations and Beautiful Blue presents Pamper Your Sister. Come and indulge yourself while learning about natural hair care, body care, makeup tips, skin care, and more. The cost of the event is $40. You need to get your tickets on Eventbrite and then call us to book your spot. That $40 includes guided meditation, 10-minute chair massage, facial and hand spa, vegan Caribbean food, sangria, and non-alcoholic drinks, plus vendors on site. So come on, get some little bit of clean time, relax yourself. Fellas, you know what? Missy Vaughn, if you are listening, we're going to go ahead and invite the Kings in too. So Kings, if you need a moment to just get some natural care going on and you need some downtime, you need a little bit of a spa, come on down. Sharing the love. Let's celebrate our kings and queens at Pamper My Sister. Now, the other thing that's going on, and I need y'all to make sure that you get this down and book your tickets. Those who book their tickets by tomorrow, I need 10 people to book by this weekend, will receive an extra special gift from Lady Blue, and that is Voyage in Blue, happening on August 31st, right here in Baltimore. So who's ready to cruise with Lady Blue? The Inner Harbor awaits you for this one-of-a-kind inaugural benefit cruise for 50 Shades of Blue aboard the Spirit of Baltimore. Okay, if you or anyone you know is a survivor of intimate partner violence, abuse, or any kind of trauma, we are celebrating you. We are celebrating life on this cruise. We've got an anniversary group coming. We probably got some birthdays coming and more. So if you are celebrating life, we want to celebrate with you. We are prepared to start boarding at 11 at the Inner Harbor, and we will set sail at noon on the dot. Full buffet and libations are yours. If you and the bar is going to be open. It's cash bar, so if you want to drink, you got to pay. Okay, tickets are $65. We will hear from speakers, myself. Enjoy the DJ, the sights and sounds of the Inner Harbor while raising funds for the 5th annual upcoming Domestic Violence Awareness Conference here in Baltimore. Everyone that boards will get a raffle ticket, and there will be prizes to be won and gifts given away. You don't want to miss this event. And we also have a surprise announcement from one of the speakers, Troy Jones, and myself. So you got to be on board to get this message. The attire is all blue, casual dress, no Tims, no baseball caps, jeans, or t-shirts. All will receive a token of appreciation from Lady Blue for attending and supporting. And we know that domestic violence is happening all around us. The work does not stop and end in the month of October. We need to continue the fight by bringing awareness and access to resources for those who might not have that access or the ability to get to it or to trust someone to help them. Just because it's not happening to you does not mean it doesn't matter. You can purchase tickets through me, Lady Blue, now until August 28th. This is to ensure we get a correct count and tally for the space being provided. Any ticket not purchased before this time will be full value at the Harbor Ticket Booth. So note that a portion of these sales will go to benefit the upcoming 5th Annual Awareness Conference coming in October 2019. Your presence and support mean the world to me and the survivors that reach out to me for help. So thank you. Get that in your calendar. Get your ticket booked. 10 people. Book by tomorrow. You will get an extra special gift from me, Lady Blue. And on all of that, we got special guests that walked in here in the studio with me, and we just gonna let it fly, and we gonna do our thing today. I have my dear friend, my, you know what? He's just Mr. Excitement himself. Dr. Eric Holmes is in the building. Say good morning, doctor.
Good morning, everybody. I'm trying to go live myself. Good morning, everybody.
He is doing his thing. Listen, y'all, it's wonderful when I'm usually here by myself, but when I get that surprise guest, I love it. I love it. And we're going to talk about some things today. But the one thing I do want to talk about, and I mentioned it before we went on break, is this New Jersey judge who decided that a 16-year-old who videotaped himself assaulting a young girl at a basement party in 2017 decided that he needed leniency because he came from a good home and was going to a good school. I have a problem with that. This 16-year-old bragged, wanted to be included and counted, and this judge basically just told him he got a free ticket. You can do whatever it is you feel like doing, want to do, because you came from a good home. If his home was that good, why did he do what he did? He videotaped himself assaulting an intoxicated girl at a basement party, shared the footage, okay, and boasted that it was his first time having sex, raping this girl. Come on now. turn the tables. Y'all know the story. Turn the tables. Let that be somebody else. They'd be looking at a life sentence. Life sentence, okay? This judge is under fire for this ruling, okay? The appeals court ruling further questions how such legal reasoning would impact juveniles who do not come from good families and do not have good test scores, okay? The judge's name is, what is this man's name? Because I need y'all to know his name. Judge James Troiano, okay? He is 69. He shot down a request from citing the teen status as an Eagle Scout who was doing extremely well in high school and is clearly a candidate not just college, but probably for a good college. His high test scores was what granted him leniency. One, that judge needs to get off the bench. Okay. Two, high school test scores is not an excuse to rape. Okay. The victim, who was also 16, was inebriated during the incident which occurred. Now, I'm not saying that she shouldn't have been inebriated. He should have been inebriated. Nobody should have filmed it. Neither one of them should have been at that party. And technically, in my opinion, the parents should be at fault. Okay? Everything was visible in this tape. The girl's bare torso, her head was hanging down. One of the friends who sent the clip showed the victim's head hitting the wall repeatedly. Okay? Investigators found text message evidence from the days that followed the assault where he messaged his friends and talked about the encounter. The victim discovered bruises on her body the next morning and expressed fears to her mother that she may have been raped. Okay? Now, all I'm saying to this right here, the parents come into play, whoever hosted the party comes into play, whoever bought the alcohol comes into play. This judge needs to get off the bench, and this 16-year-old needs more than just a reprimand, period. Because this is how domestic violence starts. Because his next relationship, he's going to go right into doing the same BS all over again. I'll share this story. Y'all give me your opinion, and I know y'all got one, okay? And I don't mean if I'm triggering anybody. I do not mean to trigger anybody, but we need to talk about this stuff. I'm tired of this stuff just being there and people overlooking it. We're inundated and we're basically slapped in the face with this stuff every day. So we need to talk about it. I'm off that subject now. Dr. Holmes, thank you for coming in. Thank you for coming in. We need some soulful prayer right now.
Yeah, we definitely listen. Definitely, we need prayer. But that's good information. And as we are coming up in a couple of months on the Domestic Violence Awareness Conference, it needs to be, because a lot of things are being swept up under the rug.
Right.
And the thing that it needs to be talked about, it needs to be addressed, because a lot of times what happens is that people get away with things that shouldn't, even though we know there's a judgment coming, because they encounter the wrong person and it may be turned around. However, we've got to bring awareness, and y'all, we have a domestic violence coming up in October, Lady Blue, 50 Shades of Blue, and just bringing awareness to domestic violence. And yes, you are right. Prayer is so much needed. Listen, and we're here to talk about, hashtag soulful prayer. This is why prayer is so important. It is so important because, Lady Blue, everybody needs prayer.
Yeah.
Situations are going on, circumstances are going on, and yet prayer is the key. Prayer is the answer, and prayer will be the answer. I was reading one of my favorite scriptures when I read last night doing a live in Psalm 5 and 3. In the morning, Lord, hear me, hear my prayer, and I'm going to wait in expectation. Like with David, we can't stop praying. We need prayer. It's critical. The country needs prayer. The White House, the city council, the governor, our city, our state, God knows Baltimore needs prayer. And we have got to keep on praying, because he said in Chronicles, if my people are called by my name, would humble themselves and pray, turn from their wicked way. Listen, we need God to hear us and heal us. We need God to step in. Yeah. So we got to stand on the watchmen's got to stand on what we've got to continue to pray. And being in Dallas last week, oh my God, was so amazing. All these amazing authors and all these amazing people that have come together for one purpose, and one purpose, first of all, to glorify God and then release what God has given for the visionary, Miss Cheryl Paloma Williamson, best selling author, award winning. She's amazing. But I told her, you heard from God, you got a vision, you said yes, and now here it is. 6 months later, hashtag Soulful Prayer has been released #1 best-selling on Amazon in 4 different categories. But not just that, prayer is being released. So when people need this or discouraged, or people need prayer, whether it's divorce, whether your family, your children. I was looking at this book again last night, and it just blessed me. But I'm telling you, we had such a powerful time in Dallas. I mean, Friday night, the dinner, the meet and greet was phenomenal. Testimonies, prayer. And then when we closed out in prayer, I mean, I prayed so much too, I was just drenched. But that's what it is, and
Right.
prayer will do that. And so the thing is, God has brought us together. And I told you, even with Michelle, it's a divine assignment. So I can't wait for you to talk about. She's amazing.
Yeah,
And I
she's
thank
coming
God.
in September.
Oh,
so
she's
y'all
so
need to be ready
amazing.
for that.
She's so amazing. But just to hear from God, and like I said, even in the in between, we still gotta keep on pressing. We still gotta keep on moving. But then we still gotta keep on praying. And people are like, well, what do you wrestle with? I know how to balance it, but I've gotta stay guard. I've gotta stand my post. Somebody's gotta pray.
Right. You're completely right. And I want to tell y'all something. To start your day, I know Dr. Holmes for myself. He's up early. Okay. He's in there early in his little prayer room. He's in there early. But I know to start my day just with that 5, 10, 15 minutes of silence and just being in the presence of God and just saying thank you and to bless God's name and to do all these things. And I'm not trying to get all totally, spiritual on y'all, but the things that people are doing nowadays, and you hear so many people say, prayer ain't doing nothing. What prayer gonna do? I tell you what, prayer has saved many a tale along the way, okay? And I'm just being direct with y'all and blunt. Prayer is needed in the home, in the schools, in your children's life. Anytime my children have an issue, I'm like, let it go and ask God to help you. That is where you get that help from. If mommy and daddy can't come up with the answer, I'm gonna guarantee you God gonna come up with the answer. It may not be the answer you want, but it's gonna resolve that situation that you're in one way or the other. Now with soulful prayers, you said, I read that it's got prayers in there for marriage, divorce, work, kids,
finances, you name it, depression. I mean, it's so many in here that you can turn to a page, you can turn to a chapter. And I'm telling you, last night when I was looking at it, even when I was reading on the plane, I began to cry just because of the powerfulness, and not only that, the anointing, but it was a divine assignment. And I tell people, this is not just a book, it was a divine assignment. God gave Miss Cheryl a vision. You know what I mean? She said yes, she followed with the plan, with the vision.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And a lot of times we don't move. And I was just sharing with somebody when we miss the door of opportunity. And shout out, listen, to every, I always gotta thank people because when they play a major part, or just when people to help you. I was just sharing, I was reading an article that Mr. Andre Johnson and making headline news, that I was so overwhelmed by that, but they captured so much. But just to allow everyone to know, even with Soulful Prayer, or even what I was doing, and I was blown away because I didn't see it, and it just blessed me. And so shout out to them, and to every radio host, and just everyone, and all those amazing authors. It's a blessing. My pastor and them, I was so glad to get back. It's just something to get back to my church. And he's like, son, I missed you. Oh, that did something to me. My first lady called me while I was in Dallas. I'm telling you, I love my church. I love my pastor. Anybody know I love my church? And wow. It'd be 25 years that I've been a proud member of the Bethel Temple Church of Christ, 3910 of West Rogers Avenue. And it's built on prayer. It's built on the word. And so even with that, we pray on Sunday mornings. We pray. We got a prayer band, and we pray. And so prayer is so much needed. So, whether it's your finance, like I did dealing with personal finances, and had you not gone through it, you can't really talk about it. So somebody was talking about when they had a book. So many different things, and everybody can relate to every page and every chapter in this book, because somebody has been through divorce, somebody may be going through divorce, somebody may be, we know we're dealing with mental illness, we deal with that with the whole domestic violence and what causes it. So not only everybody's dealt with financial situations, everybody has dealt with, whether you have children, godchildren, or grandchildren. So everybody's dealt with that. Marriage, everybody has dealt with that or dealing with it. So it's so many different things. When you look at all the pages and chapters, I'm telling you, y'all, this is going to bless you. Hey, my friend is on. Thank you for ordering those books last night. The Honorable Judge, thank you. She's been a friend of mine almost over 45 plus years. Thank you for tuning in. And to everybody tuning in, thank you. I appreciate you. Love you. Me and Lady Blue, I thank her for the honor and privilege to come in here and share this amazing, not only just best-selling, but an anointed, a divine assignment. It's not just a book. And so, to the CEO, my girl, I call her Tia, boss. She's boss, y'all. So I appreciate her, allow me to come in and to share, so in the book is a prayer, for so many different things, whether you want to soar, whether the model pray for personal challenges, health and breakthroughs, and, when you don't know what to do. So it's so many different that when you're jobless, listen, people share their testimony, and victory over your past. And how do I get over that? Dealing with the past and pray for restoration and recovery. When I took waiting on justice, one of the ladies, her son being murdered, waiting on justice. How do you do it? And it's going to be prayer that's going to get you through it. It's going to be prayer that's going to sustain you. Right. The word that's going to, people can't get through out here, right? But that's why the schools are made. They took prayer out of schools. They done took prayer out of a lot of things. And God knows they need to get it back, because this is why we're in the dilemma that we're in. Prayer still works. Yeah. Prayer will be the answer. Prayer is the answer. Daniel kept on praying. Listen, as in the words of Elder Bell said, two things are not going to stay in heaven. That's the prayer and the answer. It's going to be a release. So when God gave me this, it's just in transition. So the answer and the response is just in transition. We need prayer. We've got to cover our homes, cover our city, cover our children. We've got to stay on the wall. Yeah. Listen, I got a call yesterday while I was out with my supervisor and them, and it was a blessing because one of the ladies, and hopefully she's on here, but what happened was I was up in the midnight hour praying. She needed prayer, critical. And so the mere fact was this. That's why when people say, you be up in there, yeah, it's critical because somebody's got to pray. And she said, listen, I need you to pray. XYZ didn't go into a whole lot of it, and I didn't need all of that, but it was critical because that was a midnight hour cry. And so here it is. Not only did her son get delivered and back home, now got a job and all of that, in where the area where they were in. Listen, it's a targeted area, so you already know. She said, I'm a prayer, but I needed prayer. But then as a mother, and then losing a son to the streets of violence, so that caused her to go into a word. So somebody else had to pray for her. That's why it's so important when we got to pray and trust and believe God. And when I tell you this divine assignment, it's just going to bless people because you might need encouragement. You might don't know how to pray, or you might need a prayer. Listen, it's the power of prayer. There's prayer, the power of prayer, and power has the prayer. Listen, y'all, it's so much. And so when we deal with this whole prayer and dealing with how powerful it is, it's going to bless you because everybody needs prayer. I don't care what religion, what race, when you need prayer, if you know somebody can get a prayer through, I have done it. I mean, I've stopped in a hall at work with two administrators, two different persuasions, two different cultures, but they needed prayer. We stood right there in the hall two tears flew. So no matter what one of the attendants said to me, I need you praying. And I said, right, and you can't be going through, I'm going to pray. Some things are critical. So we can't say, I'm going to pray about it later. No, I'll stop right here because it's critical. Yeah, it's critical. And people's situations are critical.
Right. Your spirit will stop you, especially if that's something in you feels that, when you're talking to them, or you see it when you see them. And I just want to tell you all, one thing that I have learned is be careful who you ask for prayer, because sometimes some people are not there for you spiritually. They may be in your face smiling and this, that, and the other, but there's something underlying underneath. And the reason we must remain vigilant, just like Dr. Holmes just said, the reason we should remain vigilant is because evil does not stop. Wicked does not stop. Bad does not stop. Y'all go to sleep and wake up and bad still happen while you're asleep. remember, while we're sleeping, the other side of the world is wide awake, okay? And we're over here sleeping, thinking everything's gonna be hunky-dory because I'm locked up in my house. Remember, just like you just said, this young lady lost a child to the streets, had another person. Prayer, sometimes God wake you up in the middle of the night and say, I need you to do A, B, C, D, and E. Okay,
Yeah.
and the question, all right, I'm sleepy, I'm gonna go back to bed, I get back to it in the morning. No, he's calling you at that time, and sometimes that's when the things happen. Because if you ever notice, if you're paying attention, especially those of us in media, a lot of stuff does not happen until after 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Okay, and remember the way the time frame is, the time between, I think it's between 3 and 6, that's when it's the darkest. That's the dark hour.
We know that from the
when
crucifixion of Christ.
Right, that's when they say it's darkest before the dawn.
Mm-hmm.
That's it right there between 3 and 6. That's the darkest period of the day, of the whole entire 24-hour period. That's the darkest period right there. And that's when a lot of the things that we know of in the Bible took place. Because like when they were being tossed about on the sea, and they thought they were never going to get to the other side. They were looking at the shore, but it looked like the shore was like 17,000 miles away, and they could have just got up and walked out and been over there, but they were so caught up in turmoil that they couldn't see what was their saving grace right there in front of them. Okay, remember who got out the boat, and if he just kept his eyes where he was supposed to, he wouldn't have sank. Okay, and that's the thing that we've got to realize. Your prayer may not work right there for you on the spot. Okay, but if you're vigilant and you stay and you're steadfast, trust me, in God's time, that's gonna come about. The book, it wasn't a vision one day and it was in print the next. It took time for it to come about. You know, some of these things you just can't run into. And I know there's more that you've got Miss Williamson, who's like the spearhead of this, and you're part of this book. How many authors are in this book?
It's actually, all of it together, it's 53. And 53 amazing authors.
Wow.
And you talk about the timing and season of God, yes, process, preparation. And even when you talked about the storm and them, and I talked about that last night on my live. I was talking about how the Euroclydon storm showed up. See, things show up unannounced, storms show up unannounced, unaware, and uninvited. But our thing is, I love about Paul, and they got to the other side, board, broken pieces. So even in your brokenness, it's something to hear for that. It's even something to hear for being focused. It's something to hear, being determined. So it has so many different prayers that people will be blessed because everybody can relate to something in this book. And the thing is, yes, things do happen at Paul inside. It was at midnight. So things happen in our darkest hour, even at midnight nowadays.
Yeah,
people
the chains broke in that cell.
People do stuff nowadays in broad daylight. So it takes prayer, and the thing about it is that things don't happen overnight, But the one thing about God is that, our prayer, he hears. He said to them, from the first day you prayed, I heard it. So the first day it was already heard, but the timing and season of God, he's always on time. And even when it feels like things are delayed, it's delayed on purpose, for a purpose, but still on schedule, because God's always on schedule. He's always on time. So no matter when he shows up, long as he shows up, he is time. He created time. He stepped out of eternity into time. So he is time. He created time. And the mere fact is he's always on time. We may be at the airport. We was at the airport. They had delays and stuff, but it was still on schedule because it still was going to get me back when I needed to be back. So the thing about it is we keep on praying. We don't stop praying. It's his timing. It's his season that he'll release, even whether we want to hear what he has, because he always has our best interests at heart. And so the mere fact, our job, we got to keep on praying. Don't stop praying. The old song said, don't stop praying. The Lord is nigh. He will hear you and he will answer by and by. So we can't stop praying, y'all. We got to keep on praying.
Now, see,
and
this
we
is
got
a
to keep
book
on blessing.
I would want to keep in my purse. I have books that are in my purse, but to have a go-to, like I have a couple of go-tos, but that would be another one I would
just like this was a go-to, because it is. And Lord, he gave me a whole revelation to connect power and prayer and power, because there's power in prayer, but prayer has the power. So even when I connected both of these together, so that whole prayer, that connecting factor, listen, it's power in prayer. Prayer prayer changes circumstance, situation. Prayer changes us. But one thing I love, prayer will sustain us even to it, deliver us out of whatever we in. That's why we can't stop praying. We got to get back to the horns of the altar. We got to lay between the porch and the altar and cry out to God, call on him. And he's given us the tool. It's in prayer. He's given us the tool. This powerful, intentional communication with God, this dialogue, this dialect, it's prayer, y'all. It's going to get, listen, it's going to be heard. But we just got to keep on praying. I'm telling you. So in this whole process of soulful prayers, listen, I'm telling people, go on my link, go on my page, click on the link. I'm telling you, it is a must. If you want to give somebody something and bless them, even pay it forward, this is it. And I said this last night, we buy a lot of things. I mean, people may throw it away, people may use it, but to everybody, you ain't gonna throw prayer when you need it away. You're not gonna throw something when you need encouragement or you can't find nobody, but yet you can go to a prayer that's gonna help you with the prayer. I'm telling you, it's a blessing. So the whole mere fact is that prayer still works, y'all. Prayer has the power. Prayer is gonna be the answer, and prayer will release the answers that we need.
I tell you what, Dr. Holmes is over here all excited. His phone is just jumping off the hook. He can't keep his phone steady and upright for all that's going on. But no, I sincerely, I need to get a copy of this book.
Yes.
I need to get a copy of this book. In everything that it took, explain to me, is it that these different individuals all wrote a specific prayer? Is that what it is? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, because I did see and I did get an invite from Ms. Williamson about part 2.
Yes. Hashtag soulful prayers too. Listen, when God is moving and God is shifting, and he gave me that when I was even in tech, there's a glory cloud moving. There's a season of the open door. There's a shifting taking place. I'm telling you, this whole prayer thing, because if like never before, we have got to pray. My neighbors, they'll say, if they got something going on, they'll call me. You know what I mean? And that's why we got to walk uprightly before. And that's why we got to, our integrity, our character, our credibility, because people are calling on you. People going to need you. And my neighbors, in the neighborhood, if they got a situation or crisis, listen, I remember we had that tornado come through there or, that storm. But listen, they was calling on me, listen, we need you to pray. So prayer is so important. And like I said before, listen, it don't matter your race, your color, creed. And listen, when you need prayer and somebody that can pray, and what's the first thing we either call on Jesus when we get in a situation or an accident or stuff like that, we call it on Jesus, or pray for me. Somebody going to court, pray for me. Or, my kids like, pray for me. So here it is. Now prayer has been released. People are getting back and listen, prayer is so much needed in this land. We got to keep on praying. Even the scripture says some things come by fasting and prayer. Listen, we got to get back to what the word says so God can move and God can release and God can turn things around. It's going to be prayer. It's going to be we getting back to the word and getting back to prayer, getting back to the horns of the altar. And that's what I so love about this. And not just because I'm in it, but this blessed me. I was reading on a plane. I was like, wow. And then just reading when we shared the different on Friday night with the dinner, the meet and greet, and I mean, it was so much power in there in the testimonies, and just for me to hear and meet all of them under the one roof in one place. We've been on Zoom calls, conference calls, emails, IMG, but to meet them all in person, only a few of them I actually met in person, but for the rest, like all probably 50 of them that I didn't, but it was amazing to come together and we connected, we bonded with family. We had a radio interview, DFW radio, but we bonded, we just came together. It's a collective, it's a collaboration that we've come together, and to fulfill the vision that God gave the visionary, but yet his divine assignment in the earth realm, his timing and season is the timing and season of God.
I'm letting him go over here, y'all, because see, sometimes you don't interrupt what God has flowing, okay? Because, how sometimes people cut it off because of time constraint. I ain't worried about time constraint right now. I need you all to hear this because even to me, it's important. I in the last few days, just taking that time out has been so different for me. It has lifted a weight off of me because I've talked to you about those things before, those things that, this time of year, they weigh down on me because I want them to happen. And I have to remember, it's not me that's doing that work. I'm just the vessel that's supposed to be out here putting that good word forth. And I have to remember that. And sometimes, like he just said, you got to ask somebody else to lift you up because you can't do it all by yourself. You know what? My vision didn't come because I just, decided this what I'm going to do. I give God that credit because God
Yes.
put that vision within me to do what I have done for the past 5 years. Now, whether people notice it, don't notice it, take account, this, that, and the other, I am reminded every day by everyone I know, people see what you are doing.
And that's the truth, Lady Blue. And because I always tell you that it's already done. We done prayed, God gave it, it's already gonna be done. Last year when we did the domestic violence, so many people's lives were changed, so many people's testimonies were changed. And not only that, people were blessed by it and to be able to share their story. And that's what it is in here, sharing your story, sharing your prayer, sharing your testimony. And the thing about it is, even if others don't, God sees, but He'll put the right people to see and the right people who need to be encouraged or inspired or to share. And so many people came forth to share their story, with the conference of the domestic violence, bringing awareness, and sharing it and being able to overcome it. So, yeah, people do. And, whether we don't see it, God always puts people right where they need to be.
Right.
And so that's what prayer, I tell people like this, I send prayer where I can't go. Prayer will do what I can. I said His word where I can't go, and His word will do what I can. And it is, can't get to California, but I'm gonna send prayer because I know prayer will get there. I know His word will get there. I know prayer will do what I can, and I know His word will. And so when we get back to the horns of the altar, and when we get back, I remember being 7 weeks old, and they had to do surgery. But I'm telling you, because my mother and them were praying warriors, and because they was on the horns of the altar, even with what the doctor said, listen, I'm 51. So listen, what God's plan is and what God's hand is over, listen, Jehovah has the final say. So no matter what, and sometimes we've got to stand on the word like never before. We've got to stand because when nothing else will hold you up, the word will hold you up. And we got to believe, as it said, whose report are you going to believe? I'm going to believe the report of the Lord. So if they would have listened 51 years ago, then I probably wouldn't be here. But all in the time and the season of God, because of the hand the Lord was upon me. Listen, prayer still works. Prayer has the answer. Prayer will be the answer. And so prayer will change things. Prayer will reverse things. Prayer will give you a decision in your favor. I'm here to tell you, I know it. From last summer when I've been sharing about how God, prayer sustained me in the midst of a wilderness experience. Prayer taught me even the more. It strengthened me even the more. It gave me a whole perspective and a whole new mindset, even being in the wilderness, but yet sustained me in it, but yet got me to the other side of it, got me to my promise. So even in the wilderness, He allowed me, and she said, but God said, I'm going to show you how to navigate through the wilderness just to get to your promise. So prayer sustained me, prayer kept me, and I kept on praying. Didn't matter that I was in the wilderness, and it's amazing when you're praying for people, when you got a need, you're helping or you're sowing or you're seeing to a need, but yet you have a need. So here it is, the mere fact that, but see, when you do it unto Him, He's going to turn around and bless you in it back.
Amen to that. I am not going to argue with any of that. You cannot argue with any of that. One thing that I did hear this morning, Dr. Holmes, and I've heard it before, but just like you were talking about what you talked about last night, and I know I kind of dipped out early on your live because I had to get ready for today. But the things that have been happening have, you hear from one place and then all of a sudden you're talking about it and then it gets confirmed by somebody else somewhere along the line. And it's just interesting the way all of these things come along and how they happen. Now, what I heard was from my family prayer this morning with my family, how, several of my family members have, I have cousins who are going through health issues and aunts that are going through issues and things like that. But my uncle mentioned the fact that, the whole point was he looked at his wife and he told his wife, praise him. That's basically all she always said, just praise him. And she's kind of like, I know that's what I should do, but it's kind of hard to do in that situation is to praise. But to understand why you should praise him in the midst of your storm is what the whole entire thing is. Because we're talking about this month, we're talking about favor and grace. That's what we're talking about this month is our topic. But to praise him in the midst of your storm. I want you to talk about that just a little bit. Praising him in the midst of your storm. I know for me, when I get in that period where I'm like a little anxious and I just start saying either my favorite song or my favorite verse or whatever that is, or I start singing, that feeling disappears. So talk a little bit about praising him in the midst of your storm, because I know we're all on the book. We know prayer works. We know prayer is something that is needed, but talk about praising him in the midst of your storm.
And it's amazing you said it because I can't give too much, but he had given me, and I was sharing that even yesterday. And not only that, something I'm writing, and how you have, see, because praise is always in order. I could have never gotten through the wilderness or through the storm had it not been for prayer and praise. Had I not gone through the situation or the circumstance, but it was praise, it was favor, it was his grace. And so sometimes, even as they say, you got to shout before the battle is over. See, praise is one thing because praise will lift it off of you. Praise will get God's attention. Praise will bring God in. And in the midst of a storm, praise will turn situations. But see, in the midst of a storm, it will sustain you. It will keep your mind. Listen, nobody knew that I was out of work for 4 months. Nobody knew that. My praise didn't stop. My dance didn't stop. My worship didn't stop. My lifting up my hand. The scripture says, in all things give thanks. David said, I'm going to bless the Lord at all times. Because let me tell you, in the midst of that, my posture and my position to say that God, even in the midst of it all, but I got to still trust him. In the midst of it all, I still got to bless him. I got to praise him because if he can see me do all of that in the wilderness of this storm or this experience, what more is it when I come out of it? He's really going to get it. So, but we've got to learn to bless him in the midst of it all because he's still good. He's still God. No matter what we might experience, praise is always in order because I'm going to tell you, praise will lift the weight, praise will lift the burden, but it'll give you a peace of mind. It will only say in all things give thanks. You know, praise is unto him. What can I render unto him? But his what can I give? He has everything. So my life, my praise, my worship, all I can give, that's given everything that I have. And so the mere fact with praise, it's going to help you. It's going to sustain you. It's going to keep you. Because even in the midst of all of that, praise will, I'm telling you, praise will work right in your favor. Praise will even cause the enemy to bless you. Praise is always in order. And so I've watched God and from last year to this year just to see what God is doing. It is amazing. Nothing but praise. Because in the midst of it all, I didn't charge God foolishly. Listen, I kept on praising him. And even if with tears, with nobody seeing them, because I was in my own home, you know, so nobody knows the experience that you might have gone through. But in the midst of it all, my dance, my prayer, when I didn't miss service, I didn't miss bodies, because I owed him. Because if he didn't do another thing else, I still owe him a praise. I still got to bless him. And I still got to give him glory. Just the mere fact he kept me alive that I can give him glory and give him another day of praise. But he sustained me in the whole midst of it. And I tell people, listen, praise. And if anybody ever come to 3910, you know praise is always in order. Because we're going to bless him in the midst of it. We're going to give him glory because it's going to get God's attention. David stopped to write all these different songs of praise. Whether he was going through the storm, whether he was running from Saul, whether he was on it. Listen, he stopped to pen these writings, and now we're still blessed by him. Praise is always in order.
Thank you. I guess I needed to hear that today.
Yeah, because so many times we get caught up in life, reality, we get caught up, but the mere fact we forget the weapon.
Yeah.
We forget that praise is our weapon. Praise is against the enemy. Because just like Mr. Rashid at my church was ministering out of 2 Chronicles, which I always love that text. I told her she really blessed me because praise is the weapon that they had when they sent the worshipers and praisers. The enemy ambushed themselves. Praise is our weapon. Why wouldn't we use the tools that has given to us? We don't use them. I was sharing, a carpenter can't do a job if he don't bring the necessary tools. You can't be a painter and don't come to the job with the necessary tools. So even as a believer, how are we not going to have praise? How are we not going to have worship or his word and the necessary tools that we need? Praise is our weapon and we don't use it. So when I get caught up in a storm, if I know I lift my hands, if I open up my mouth and bless him, I'm going to get God's attention. Because the more I praise him, the more I bless him, he's going to come see about me.
Yes. And know that he is always
That's
there.
like with any good parent. You know your child's voice.
Yep. There you go. Hello. He didn't even have
From
to say
any other
else.
voices.
There you go.
I don't care if they're in 1,000 people are crying. You know your child's voice. God knows it. And so when we have a relationship with him, with our communication and our relationship with him, but when he hears he knows his child is calling him.
Yes. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you. Y'all getting some church in here today. I don't care who you are, where you are. This is what you're getting on your 4th of July today, okay? We're going to have it up in here today. But thank you for that. I needed to hear that. Because you've been involved with me this is going on 2 years now. Because you were with me last year and then this year, and
Yes.
with the things. And I always ask you to bring us into that place where we can truly enjoy where we're at.
Yes.
Okay. And again, that's when I say bring in, we're ushered in with prayer. We usher in the Holy Spirit. We know the Holy Spirit is welcome anytime that where I'm at, come on. I ain't hindering nothing, just come on with it. But getting back to the book and to the prayers and to the things like this. And basically you've already said it, but I want you to talk a little bit more about the response to the book. It's obviously, a bestseller in 4 different categories on Amazon and a few other things going on. I see you on social media talking about it. I see the connection between the power of the seed and soulful prayer. And, the power of the seed, remember, you got to plant a seed in order for it to grow. And then once it starts growing, look out, okay? Because it's going to turn into something that you might have thought you put an apple seed in there, but you're probably going to come out with something else that's going to be a whole lot bigger and a whole lot greater. So talk about a little bit more about the reception of the book.
Wow, when I tell you the response, wow, to hashtag. So I'm telling you, like literally, like people don't understand that this is not just about a book, it's a divine assignment. So many people, and I know it's God because for any book to be released and be number 1 in 4 categories on Amazon, it's God. It's the assignment, but it's not only that, it's the timing and season of God. And so the whole mere fact, the response has been amazing. I mean, the place was sold out. Okay, the place was packed in Dallas for the book launch. In the book sign, I mean, literally, I was like, wow. I looked around that room. I mean, people came from all over. And shout out to Pastor Toby. Listen, he's in the Dallas area. He's been following me. I'm not going to lose you where I'm going with my thought. Okay. And he came, and he's been following me for several years since I wrote The Power of the Seed, which he purchased. When I told him I was going to be in Dallas and I shared about soulful prayers, he said, I'm going to come. I'm going to tell some people in the area. He showed up. His son, his wife couldn't come. She sent a phenomenal prayer. And I said, well, I'm going to frame this. But just the mere fact, and he's in an article with me in a picture, making headline news. That article just blessed me. But the mere fact, the response has been great. Because, hey, Mr. Andre, listen, thank you. I've been talking about you, man. Andre Johnson, listen. That's the one, y'all. I'm telling you. Making headline news. He was led up the Holy Ghost. Mm-hmm. I mean, when I saw that, I told him I had to call him literally because I got so emotional. All of us were sitting in the break room. It just floored me. And my supervisor and everybody looking, so I'm showing him. I'm like, I'm like, literally, I had to call him. Thank you so much. You need brand marketing. You need a story done. Listen, Mr. Andre Johnson and his staff and making headline news. Y'all follow him. I'm telling you, thank you, man. Not only that, he's a man of God. And he flows with God. He flows with God. And see, that's the prayer. Mm-hmm. He flows with God. I didn't see the story. I didn't see it till it was released and sent it. But prayer, but following God and hearing from God. That's why it is so important. And so the whole mere fact is this. Prayer is so important. Praise is so important. And so the response to this has been amazing. I dropped off one last night to my neighbor. She's like, baby said, I will wait up. So because people need prayer. People need a word. People need to be inspired and encouraged, just so they can make it. So the response, I just submitted, y'all pray, but I know it's going to be done. Went to the library. They were so excited. I submitted it. So listen here, I'm looking for them to do what they did with the Power of the Seed. I'm looking for it to be in all of this. I have several churches already confirmed. I got to drop them off. Actually, I got to put in another order because it has been that much of a response. It'll be in libraries. It'll be in churches. So the mere fact is this, it has been amazing with the response. People are putting reviews on Amazon, which, hey, anybody has this, make sure you go on Amazon and put a review on it. It is very, very important. So when other people see it and people can be blessed, inspired, and encouraged, because reviews mean a whole lot. So the thing about it, the response has been amazing. I mean, when I tell you, people are messaging me and people are ordering, and even from the pre-orders. And listen, shout out to the president of JHH. My girl, Dr. Miller, listen, she was so excited about getting her signed copy. Then I got stopped in the hallway. The administrator stopped me. Then my chairman, then the attendings, and said, no, but wait a minute, I need one for my 80-year-old mother. This is the kind of response. Listen, all different nationalities, all different colors, it don't matter. Because when people need prayer, the whole diversity of it. Listen, I literally was getting stopped going through the institute. They already called me the governor of Hopkins, but the mere fact they know it. And they know if they need a prayer, or if they know they already know. At this time, I stopped and got to pray for the patient. Or because I used to work with cancer pray. Listen, one of the doctors, one was a Muslim and one was a Jew, said, I need you to pray right now. But listen, to the mere fact that now, let me tell you how powerful prayer is. Because the mere fact now, what they said he wouldn't live, he is now the governor of the state of Virginia. Don't you tell me what prayer. And then because he had brought him back again, he said, listen, I need you to pray again.
Now, see, that's the thing. And you just said something very, very pointed, is the fact you had different cultures, different races.
Yes.
Different. Let's think back, folks, because when it comes down to when people needed people, I'm going all the way back to 9/11. Nobody cared if you were Jewish, Muslim, Sikh, Hindu, Buddhist. Nobody cared. What they cared about was getting the human being and sharing and covering. And you saw people praying with each other that were of different cultures, races, denominations, backgrounds, the whole 9 yards. And we have gotten away from that. Our nation has gotten away from that. And it's sad is what it is. It's completely sad that we cannot just look at another human being and say, let me pray with you. Or just take the time to understand why they think the way they think, or why they believe the way they believe, or why they do what they do. To be multicultural is a blessing, folks. Let me tell you this, it's a blessing. I'm a military brat, so I grew up in different cultures. Hispanic, Samoan, Filipino, okay, Guamanian, Hindu, Korean, North and South, okay, Indonesian, Asian, there's Nigerian, Guam, or not Guam, Ghana, whatever their nationality is, Australian, it doesn't matter. They're all human beings, and yes, all human beings deserve that moment of peace, serenity, joy, and prayer.
And prayer.
Thank you.
And the thing is, I worked where I used to, my one department, multicultural, but even where I work now, but even being in Hopkins, the whole diversity. And not only that, I'm telling you, it's so many different people. Be like, one of the doctors see me every time I gotta get a hug, or she make sure you're praying for me and gotta get a hug. Whole different nationality. Whatever, it don't even matter the nationality, because they all different nationality, right, but it don't matter because she gotta get a hug from me and she gotta say, and the thing about it is, yes, I've got you, doc, not a problem. But when people believe in you and know that you're gonna pray, and that makes a whole difference. Yeah. So the whole mere fact is, we're all, and I'm telling you, because I couldn't have wrote the chapter that I wrote had I not gone through it, but it was prayer that kept me. It was prayer that sustained me. It was my praise, my prayer, my worship. And listen, I thank God, even when I was going through wilderness, listen, I had the best pastor in the world, y'all, listen, and the best first lady, listen, because many people didn't know, but my pastor always has a word of encouragement, a word of prayer, word of direction, correction, instruction, but he would always say, like, son, it's going to be okay, but he gave me prayer. He gave me the word. He gave, and so you need that, because me being a prayer warrior, the mental prayer, but then you still need prayer. Yeah. So the mere fact is everybody needs prayer. Yeah. At one point or another, you keep on living, you are, and prayer is going to be, like when you said, when they took prayer out, listen, all hell broke loose, because they took the most important thing, you know what I mean? But yet and still, they don't really see, they really see it. They don't want to see it, but listen, they see it, because all is happening. We didn't have all of this, and we know the scriptures are being fulfilled, the word is, and because Christ is coming back, listen, you don't want to leave here without him, and then you're not going to make it through here and out here without prayer, without the word. You're not in no relationship with him. We see so much going on now. Listen, Ray Charles could see it if he was here. I'm telling you, because it is that much going on.
And Stevie Wonder.
Listen, because there's so much going on, but the scriptures are being fulfilled. Yeah. So he's on his way back. But the mere fact that he gave us another opportunity to get it right is as long as you got breath, you got hope. As long as you live, you got another opportunity, another chance. But I don't care what you're going through. And I've been sharing it to people like they couldn't even believe it because like I didn't share it, but I didn't show it either.
Yeah.
You did with certain ones, and you gotta be when the manifestation is over, then you can talk about it. But then God will have you in a place, while he's preparing you, while he's pruning, while he's strengthening you, all the 9 yards. And the thing about it is that nobody would have known it unless I told them.
There you go.
Had no idea, but thank God for prayer. Listen, in prayer, I made a call and through prayer, I got the word through prayer. He sustained through prayer. He gave me the direction of what to do. Listen, I got so blessed in those whole 4 months of operating in faith and no finances, but it gave me a whole nother level of what to do, being a best store, a good store. And then I told someone that it's not that it was a mismanagement, things happen, but sometimes our faith is tested. Sometimes we got to go through the storm. Sometimes we got to be strengthened, pruned, all of that. And not only that, but then the God will show you who he really is. You'll be closer to him. You'll be drawn closer to him. You'll be strengthened even more. Or as Marvin said, you'll be wiser. You'll be stronger. Because when you come through the storm, when you come out of the wilderness, you that much better. And God knows it should have been a self-assessment. It should have been something I've learned. I learned that from the old position. I said, it's not wasn't that it was a bad situation. It was a learning experience. And what have we learned? Have we taken a self-examination? Because what did I learn in the process? I know what not to do. And so we've got to learn in the whole process, even in this whole wilderness, even with this final. Listen, I don't splurge. I never just splurge or just do, why, and I'm even more wiser now. You know what I'm saying? And so it was prayer that sustained it. It was prayer that kept me. Because when you operating in faith and nobody, and you got to trust, and when I say trust and solely depend on God, listen, and everything still don't stop. The more all of that. But when I tell you, I have watched God, the hand of favor.
Yeah, that is it. There's no disputing it. And I know you're excited about it. I wish we could go on for a whole nother 2 hours, but we got it. We're coming down to the end of the show. I want you to tell everybody where they can find the book and where they can find you, Dr. Holmes.
And you can find me on, of course, all the social media, Eric Holmes, Instagram, Dr. E_Holmes. You can find me on Twitter, but also you can find this book. Go to my link, go to my page. You'll see it on there or on Amazon as well. But hashtag Soulful Prayers, HTTP bit.ly/Dr. E Holmes, and click on the link and you can order it. And even if you order from any of the other, I'm blessed when they're blessed. So it's on Amazon, even if you ordered it from Amazon, because I'm telling you, it is going to truly bless you. It is going to bless your life. So I'm really excited. And then you can email me, message me. I'm on all of social media.
You can come on Lady Blue's page.
You come on WMSK or come on Lady Blue's show.
We will put it up on my page. I will make sure to put it up on my website. I will make sure that it gets up so y'all have no excuse to not be able to find this book. And if you order it or if you go to his page and you've read it, tell him you've heard about it on the Lady Blue radio show, because he gets blessed when the other authors gets blessed. I get blessed when he gets blessed. It's a blessing thing all the way around. Yes. And if you get one or get two and pay it for it and give somebody else the book, they may be benefit from the book. But Dr. Holmes, I want to thank you for being here with me today. I'm going to invite you back tomorrow because I know my husband would love to hear more about this book. If you can come in tomorrow for Covenant Connection, y'all know I'm going to be back here tomorrow with my husband from 11 to 1 on Covenant Connection. But I want to give you all something that I wrote on Facebook a couple of days ago, and it pertains to everybody. And I called it a rant, but it was more like just a way to kind of wake up people. We hear about it all the time, but I want to say this, ladies and gentlemen. I believe in supporting my brothers and sisters out here doing the good work.
Yes,
but I must say, when I see all the constant withdrawing from others and not depositing into anyone, including myself, who has a cause, a mission, an initiative, or a small business, who supports you, how long do you think that's going to last? Constantly claiming you don't see it or didn't know or money is tight, and then bragging about what you just purchased in the same breath is a complete slap in the face, because you may be the person out here that's hollering they need to do something when we are out of our own pockets. I can't control and don't control you, your decisions or choices. My business is thriving. I'm achieving my goals. I have my up and down days like everyone else. I choose to be positive about my life and what God has given me to do as a survivor of domestic violence, abuse, and sexual assault. I refuse to do nothing when I'm capable of doing something other than pointing a finger. I have 3 things going on right now, and they all are to benefit domestic violence awareness. Do any of you know what they are, and have you supported? Are you aware that 1 in 3 women and 1 in 4 men have experienced some form of physical violence by an intimate partner? Children from birth to 3 had the highest rate of victimization, and more than half were girls, and physical abuse ranked second. 44% of lesbians and 61% of bisexual women experienced rape and physical violence or stalking, compared to 36% of heterosexual women. Family domestic violence includes the elderly. Do not forget our seasoned people, because they go through it as well. Pets feel the effects of abuse as well. Often the church is more miseducated about how to deal with this type of violence because it's happening within the church. Need I go on? And do you care? Has it happened to you and you walk by without a care? Remember, just because it's not happening to you does not mean it is not important. You may ignore it because it has happened to you, and you figure if you say nothing, it will go away. And it hasn't yet. So please don't turn a blind eye or harden your heart. I support locally and nationally. My group and its efforts have been recognized nationally and internationally. I've continued to provide education and whatever help I can. Please take advantage of the events that are out there. There are plenty that are going on, not just mine. You've got Shelly Stalo Stevens with his event. You've got Broco Baltimore. You've got plenty of the others around here. What is it? Hug Don't Shoot. You've got the Baltimore ceasefire. There's plenty of things that are going on. So take advantage of these events and support. My events are Voyager Blue and this Saturday, Pamper My Sister. And then I also have a current raffle that's going on supporting my domestic violence initiative. So join us at the Benefit Lunch Cruise on August 31st as we celebrate survival from abuse, trauma, and celebrate life by purchasing your tickets now. Support Dr. Holmes and those other 50 plus authors that have put this book together to benefit you. Soulful Prayers. Remember that, okay? If you need information, you want to bring your group, your church, anybody, you're celebrating a birthday, anniversary, life, please contact. Join us. The goal is we want to fill one entire deck of the Spirit of Baltimore. That is the goal. So if you have heard this statement and you still follow me, you are a true and a loyal supporter, and I thank you. Okay? We cannot do this without you. I cannot do this without the help of God, and I know that God is within everything that I do. I will not move without that third strand. I'm telling y'all right now, in my marriage, in my work, in everything that I do, I counted God holding my hand. I'm 53. God has held my hand for 53 years, and I pray God holds my hand for another 53. I'm trying to be that 100 plus. That's Centurion, okay? That's what I'm trying to be. And whatever God allows is what I want in my life. And I want you all to have that same drive, that same feeling, that same fire, okay? Even if you don't think it's for you, or God has something for everybody. Yes. Everybody has a plan for their life. Everybody has a purpose that has been placed within them. You either choose to ignore it, or you think it's not the one you should be doing, and you're going off trying to do something else that is not meant for you to do, and you wonder why it keeps failing. Back off of it. Ask God to give you the vision. Ask God to give you the drive. Ask God to give you that forthright attitude and aptitude to do what it is that you need to do. It may not be a monetary thing. It may be as small as helping somebody across the street. It may be as small as being that person that does a weekly grocery run for the elderly folks that are in your neighborhood. It may be as small as reading to those at the nursing home who may just want to hear their favorite book over and over and over again. Whatever it is, God has given you a plan and a purpose, whether behind the scenes, in the scenes, or in the front line. All of us have something to do. So never, ever, ever take for granted the gift that God has given you, because it's for a purpose, it is for the kingdom, and it's for a good work. So please remember that we've got stuff happening this weekend. You got books, you got everything going on, y'all.
Yeah.
So don't say you're not
Yeah.
busy, and
That
don't
is
say you didn't
amazing.
hear it, okay?
That is amazing.
Because it is just, there's plenty for everybody to do. The first 10 people who book their tickets by this weekend is going to get a special gift from Lady Blue. So please book your tickets for Boys in Blue. You can purchase tickets all this month into August. But I want to get those first 10 people who want a special gift from Lady Blue. And no, it's not going to be there. I'm not even going to tell you what it is. You just going to get a book, okay? Maybe. Maybe. Yeah. No, I'm going to make something better. I'm going to make something better than a book. How about that? Okay? You will get that special surprise from Lady Blue, and I may include the book. How about that? I may include Soulful Prayers. So if y'all want a copy of Soulful Prayers, y'all need to come on book the ticket, okay? Other than that, Dr. Holmes, thank you for joining me today. Thank you all for just being here and just, supporting and listening. Thank you in Facebook land. Thank you in YouTube land. Thank you in WMSK Online Radio land. And it's just, we have a beautiful time every time we come together in here. And you know what? I'm going to double down. I'm going to go ahead and make it, the book is going to be included in that special surprise for the first 10 people that book their ticket and their spot on Voyage in Blue for August 31st. So come on, y'all. Come on. You're getting it for free, so come on, get your ticket, okay? Yeah, so just come together and let's have a good time. That's what it's all about. Other than that, guys, it's the 4th of July. Get out there, heat up the barbecue, enjoy family and friends, good music, good times, good fun. Make sure you stay safe.
Yes.
If you have, please do not fire any weapons into the air. I don't know if y'all deal with that here, but I know where I came from. We have to consistently put out announcements because what goes up must come down, okay? So please do not fire any weapons into the air. And please be mindful because apparently they're firing off fireworks in the city trying to mask gunfire. So please be vigilant when you're outside. Please don't fire these things off next to people's cars or in their yards or in their homes. Go somewhere that's an open area where you can fire these things and it won't scare pets, elderly, or people with heart conditions, please. Thank you. Other than that, enjoy yourself. Travel safely. Y'all got an extra day tomorrow because the governor said that the 5th is also going to be a holiday. So
not for half of us.
Not for half of us. Half of us are working. But please enjoy your holiday. Be safe. Save us a plate. I take chicken, okay, and a hamburger and a good hot dog, okay, with a little bit of crispiness on it. I don't like to see all of that. Anyway, save me a plate. Save Dr. Holmes a plate, and just enjoy your weekend. And as I always say here, weeping may endure for a night, but joy, it does come in the morning. Have a great weekend. I will see you all here tomorrow with Covenant Connection. Peace out.
Blessings.
Woo. All right, peoples, y'all got a good show in here today. So make sure you share, make sure you visit WMSK, make sure you visit Dr. Holmes' page. I will make sure to put all of that up. Dr. Holmes, you know you can share it on the Lady Blue Talk Radio group. Let's get this book up, out, and into people's hands. And yes, I will be making it a point. The first 10 people who book their tickets for Voyage in Blue by this weekend, in their special surprise, will receive a copy of Soulful Prayers. I am doing that to support my friend over here. I tell you all every month, support at least 3 Black-owned businesses or 3 people that are doing things. There's my first support right there. 10 purchases for Dr. Holmes of Soulful Prayers. So keep it rocking, keep it going. If you have any questions, reach out to me, and I will gladly answer all of those, but enjoy your 4th. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Bye, YouTube land.